Hello everyone, welcome back once again to this new tarot reading. This time it's going to be a very similar reading that I did for to see about how the relationship is building or the potential bond between Ateez members and Icons members because people were requesting about them since these groups are in the Kingdom show. And they also asked me about 80s and Stray Kids. And I do readings for the both groups in my channel, so but I never did them like together. So I think that since I know a bit about their energies, maybe I can channel this message as well. So I wanted to do this request. And when it comes to Icon, I will do a general reading for them because there were some fans that were kindly asking me, of course, and we should read for them as well. So the picture that you see here, it's a bit out of focus, and actually it is not very well taken, the picture, because I couldn't find like the right table uh to spread the cards because usually I do like these piles of free cards each side, but in this time I discovered that there were like four cards together in one side, so I had to pull four for the other side as well. So this is why the camera it didn't take the whole picture right, but I try to show it the best as possible, so I will explain it later what it means if you cannot see it or visualize it well in the screen. I'm sorry about that. um so let's start. The left side is going to be for Stray Kids and the right side is going to be for 80s members. So let's see. For Stray Kids, we got the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Temperance, and the Three of Cups. What? How do they view Ateez? How do they feel about Ateez? I think that at first, actually, I'm not sure if it's at first. I think that it's a feeling that is still in the air for some members, but for not for others. I think there's like maybe two or three members that actually they are not really interested in getting to know 80s members or getting close to 80s members. Actually, I don't want to sound harsh. I don't want to say that it's envy, but there's something about 80s energy that there are some members that they just don't see the amazingness, to be like, wow, I want to get to know that person. They have a huge respect, but they wouldn't want to get closer like that. Nevertheless, here with the Temperance and the Three of Cups at the end, probably there are three of them that already have like some kind of connection with some 80s members. So I think that there's a part of them that are already building a connection with 80s members, and there are others that are really not interested. And actually I don't think it has to do with the 80s members personality or energy, or I think it has to do with the fact that there are some members that actually are going through, they are feeling really stressed because of the pressure, and some of them are being really harsh on themselves, and they are in their minds a lot, and they are judging themselves a lot. Maybe they are being like a bit paranoid, or they are feeling very insecure when it comes to their skills. So that's why I feel like they don't want to bond with anyone right now. I think that there's something about this competition that actually is making them feel not good enough, or is making them feel insecure, or maybe it's just that they are on the defensive because they feel like they are not good enough comparing to other groups, not just 80s. Here we are watching 80s, but I feel like they are on the defensive. They just don't want to. They have so much in their head. They have so much worries and fears that the least thing they want to do is to get close to someone and talk about the show. And actually, it's not to talk about the show because actually they cannot share information about what they do or what they're going to do on the show. But I think that this especially this little group of these members that do not want to have any kind of connection with ATs outside of meeting in the show, I think that these are probably the ones that are struggling with insecurity or anxiety, that they are like too much in their heads and that they actually need to want to stay away as much as possible from everything that reminds them of this competition. So it's not personal, but there are three of them with this three of cups that definitely have a connection. I believe it's three of them that I think that they already met some ATEEZ members before, because I feel like some kind of compatibility and like really, like, you know, when you are really used to be around that person and you talk to them very informally, like you met them before. So, and if they haven't met before, they do have this connection where they feel like they know each other for very long time. So I believe that three of them are really interested in getting into a very profound connection with ATEEZ members, with some ATEEZ members. So let's see how Ateez feels about this. Ateez got the two of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So you know it is. Sorry, it starts pretty similar. Also, it starts with the two is that also there are also other two members that actually are not, it's not that not interested, it's just that they are focusing their energy on actually working on themselves. So I think that they just want to maintain relationships just strictly professional, and they are just gathering together because probably I think it may be the members that are like doing some kind of acting, you know, that this okay K drama started. This K drama, I'm watching this. I watched the first episode, Imitation. It's really good. You know that there are these four members that they are enacting roles well. I think that this is what they show me. They show me that they have work to do, or maybe that they have a lot of things that they need to actually work on, and they are like juggling and they are trying to keep up with every activity, but they are just so busy. And then we have others that actually, yes, actually they have like they are starting a great bond with some Stray Kids members. Like I said, not all of them are connected, but some of them are. And with the with the uh with the Ace of Cups at the end, because if you can see, both sides ended with a cup card, which talks about feelings. So it means that it's definitely, it's an opportunity for them to open up emotionally about their own experiences, even though they are going through different experiences. They have a lot of similarities too. So I think that if they get together, if they talk, if they hang out, probably it's going to be a very emotional connection, and where they are going to be honest and open about their feelings to each other, which is marvelous. You know that I'm a very emotional person myself, and I recommend people to always try to open up about their feelings, because if you don't, especially if you work under pressure, if you don't, eventually the emotions start to build up inside of you, and they start to affect you in other ways, which is not great. So I think that they do have some members. I think that this connection actually has a long time. I'm not saying long, but has a few months of prior this that they know each other, or that they seen each other, and that the connection was instantly. um and in the case of ITs, I think that they see these stray kids members that they're probably communicating with, they see this opportunity to also talk about their struggles, and talk about everything that has caused them pain in the past. And I think that I feel like they would talk about those things, about the hardships, about the pain, about the struggles, and about some not so bright moments that only they know. I think that both groups had experienced in one way or another, experienced a lot of hardships and a lot of losses also. So I think that they went through a lot of things that the fandom don't know, and that the fandom is not supposed to know either. So if you're asking, oh, how can we do to help? No, you cannot help them, because it's something that only they, because they are in the same environment, only they can understand. So sometimes fans do not need to know it all, because if you are a fan, you're supposed to enjoy the product that they are, I mean, the result of everything they are working so hard on. You don't have to question where is it coming from, what did you do in the process. You have to enjoy the hard work, and you have to appreciate it, and it's really good that you worry about them. But there are some struggles that they are not meant to show with the fans, because it doesn't work that way in their in how they work, and or in maybe in how maybe the industry works, about not actually not making the fans worry too much, or maybe to always show the most positive side of things, which I also think that is healthy, to have some boundaries. But when they do have these encounters with these other members from other groups, and they click, and they have this connection, and they have these moments of sincerity, they are able to open up, and maybe to talk about their own struggles, that it may not be that big of a deal actually, but for them, as they share this line of work, for them it's like there's so much empathy with each other that is really healing. So I love it for them. And the cards that came out for their bond, it's sorry. It's the star, the card of a star, the Knight of Cups, and Eight of the Eight of Swords. Yes, there's so many swords in this picture that I cannot see. Um, so I think that they definitely there's a sense of familiarity between them. And also, there's some kind of destiny. I don't know if you guys believe in this, but I feel like some of these members met each other in other lifetime. There's something, and also there's something about each of the groups that is like they were meant to maybe debut at the same around the same era. I don't know when they debuted each one of them, but I feel like there's like this magnetism between each other that is like they relate to each other so much, and that actually maybe for the fans it's like no, because I don't know, my biases are better than your biases, and my artists are better than yours, and fandoms is all about this, but for them as people and as entertainers, there's this kind of, because when you have the star and the knight and the Knight of Cups, it's like an emotional openness that is like when you feel like that person from other lifetime. It's like you feel like them, and the energy flows really naturally, and you don't know why. but it's like it was meant to be, like it was something from the universe, because the star, it's a very special card. It talks about sometimes it talks about maybe having some kind of divine protection, like for example, having like a guardian angel watching over you that somehow is like making things happen for you that happen like magically. So I think that in this sense, they do have this opportunity to become real friends if they would want to, and I believe that they would want to do that, both of the parts. uh, but I think that they will not tell anyone about it, or they will maintain it really in a secret, because with this eight of swords here, I feel like each of the groups are dealing with a lot of stress. They are dealing with a lot of things, not only because they are on the show. They are dealing with a lot when it comes to the groups. Each of the groups are they are having so much fears. They're having a lot of anxiety. So I think that they are trying to keep strong. They are trying to look out for each other, each of the members of each group, and there are moments where they are really worried. So I think that if maybe they don't meet or they don't see each other that often, it's not because they are not interested, it's because they are trying to do their best to keep the group together, or to keep the synastry of the group as sane as possible. I think that they are also, both of the groups are in the situation that as popular as they get, uh, the more popularity they will gain, the more restrictions they will get to. And what I mean by this is that each companies will start to restrict them when it comes to who you're supposed to hang out with, and who you're not supposed to. Or for example, if you are friends, okay, but do not talk about this person. Do not mention about this person, because it's like, maybe it's because of the fans. Maybe it's because it's, I don't know. It's much more. It's a better publicity for the managers, or for the people in this business, that they think that it's great to to be like, oh yes, let's make this seem like they are rivals. We will make a lot of money because fans will fight with each other. So obviously they will put a lot of efforts into pushing each group's popularity. So I think that they, as higher as they will go, they will start the companies both companies will start to isolate them from interacting with other groups. And they will call this like protection, like protecting your artist. Or for example, no, because we're already selective, and we just want our artists to be taken care of, so they don't. And no, it's actually that you are keeping them in a cage, so they don't socialize with others, so they somehow don't have some kind of an outsider point of view about what's right and what's wrong. When you isolate someone, when you start to be like, oh yes, you shouldn't hang out with your friends or your family because you have a lot of work to do. Yes, and it's great that you have a lot of work to do, but at the same time you become lonely and lonely and lonelier, actually. So I think that this is what is telling me that both groups, when they are becoming really popular, they are popular, but the higher they go, the companies will decide to separate them, and not only from this interaction, because I feel like nevertheless they will continue communicating, because there's a real willingness here to connect. But I think they will do it in a very sneaky way, like in secret almost. And and probably if they, it's like now is everything okay, but then afterwards, maybe if they are asked about each other's group, what do you think about this, or what do you think about the other group, they will be silent, like, oh, like, no, we don't talk about it, like. So big, but this is about the companies, like being strategic and actually pulling some strings, because, and I also see that the Eight of Swords, it's a card that also talks about being manipulated and being blindfolded, and actually not knowing that yourself, you have the resources within yourself to get out of that situation yourself. So I think that obviously there's a lot of manipulations when it comes to these groups, and I think that um, the more popularity they get out of them, the more the manipulation you will start to see in their personalities, or maybe how they act around each other. So don't believe everything you see. This is what I say to the fandom mostly. Don't believe that just because I don't know, one group releases one song and the other releases other song in the same period, it's because they are rivals and they're enemies and one is better than the other. No, don't feed that, because I actually is what they want. Is what they want. Is they want to be more popular. I mean, this is what the companies want, to that to be like this, your nemesis, like the hero and the nemesis, something like that. The good boys, the bad boys, like the it's you need to start watching the the K-drama imitation. I think that you can see in that group, when you see the bold groups, the uh Skax, it's one of the groups, and the other is Sparkling. You will get it right away, what how the industry works, in that sense that, oh yes, the good boys against the bad boys, the dark concept versus the pastel colors concept. So yes, guys, but the good part is that there are feelings here. I'm being 100% honest. If I have seen, like, if I saw, or if I were seeing something like negative, or maybe like something, like, I would be like, no, they're just interested because of connections, or because they want to make money, or they want to associate because of they want to be more popular. No, actually there are like real feelings here. I think that Stray Kids and also Ateez, what they share and they have in common, I believe that it's their ability to be very human, and actually to be, they feel a lot. They are very sensitive people. This is why I see so many cops here. So they definitely, it's not like they are looking for a best friend in the industry, but they definitely feel the need to have like these strong connections, and but in the inside, like I said, there are others that do have some distrustful nature, because they they feel a bit insecure, so they don't know if it's good to relate yourself with other members from other groups, but it's normal, each one of them has the possibility to choose always, like we all do in life. And besides, like I already tell you, these are people that they do have friends in the real world, in the real life. So probably if some of them don't want to be friends with a fellow idol, there's nothing wrong with not wanting to. It's an election. It's a choice that you make. So I'm going to leave it, guys, here. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.